Ayo, little man, what's going on, everyone? Nick here from Little Man YGO, back at again with another video, and this time we are exploring the other Amaryllis list, not just, Adam's Amaryllis list, but this Amaryllis list that got first and second place at the Gamer's Choice Book of Moon tournament about 2 weeks ago at this point. So before we jump into any of this stuff, please like, comment, and subscribe for more Amaryllis, Yu-Gi-Oh, Edison, or if you just want to come hear my voice every single time, you got to subscribe for that. I'll give you a few minutes to do so. I will wait. Also, Discord link in the description below, along with this deck list, so you could try it out for yourself. Come hang out with us. So, right here we have Jamal's first slash second place Amaryllis, a Plant Turbo deck list. And I gotta say, when I first looked at this deck list, when I first was revealed to me, I was just like, good golly gee, there's a lot of sacrilegious things that are going on in here. And then as I played a couple of games with it, I was kind of like impressed with how the game was flowing. We have obviously the two Amaryllises, which is like, like massive sacrilege here. But at the end of the day, it as I was playing the deck, it definitely felt like, the direction of the deck is a little bit different than what a typical Amaryllis deck will go for. As you see here, we're on one each of the Hidden Armory, Mark of the Rose, DDR, and Miracle Fertilizer. Definitely understand the Miracle Fertilizer. Once you see this once, you kind of like just win the game and you don't need any more on top of that. But the Hidden Armory for the two here, really trying to cut down summons to best support the Caius the Shadow Monarch as well as the I guess the Debris Dragons within the deck. He is on the Lord Poison as the alternative plan. God, I love Lord Poison. Well, he loves Lord Poison. So this is a very cool card. If it's destroyed by battle, you revive a plant from the graveyard, which would be the Titanial. Saying to search some of the little critters within the deck. We're on the Morphing Jar, thank goodness gracious. But he's also on Gores too, which is I think this card kind of sucks in this deck, but if we're playing less of like, these type of cards where they're folding around, I could definitely see where cards like this come into clutch. And then Kai's Shadow Monarch. You see less normal summon stopper, so like cards like this might make a little bit more sense, but I also do not see brain control in this main deck either, which is, or even in the side for that matter, which is interesting if I dare say so myself. He has double bottomless, double wing blast in the main deck, which is fine. I've definitely played all these cards in Amaryllis, one point over another. Clean 40 cards in the main deck. Side deck, we're on one DD Crow, searchable off Sanguine, Cyber Dragons, Consecrated to beat the Blackwing stuff. The Chalices, this is definitely something that, like I said before, as I considered it in my side deck. It beats set Fossil Dinos. It also beats like Raikos and Hamsters and stuff like that. So this card is very good. I do like it a lot. Unfortunately, it doesn't like really beat when Kai's is trying to like get over your Titania because like you need to, then the Kai's has enough attack points to crash. But overall, not too bad. We're on the double Karma Cut. I do like Karma Cut a lot. The easy swap in for Wing Blast when these cards are better in that matchup, and then Shadow Imprisoning Mirror for the Bayou and Zombie deck. So definitely like this, and then obviously Mind Crush. Depending on the tournament that you go to, it could be ruled differently on Konami sanctioned events. I know that Mind Crush is you don't see the hand even if you do call it wrong. In some of the other local tournaments, it's ruled the old way where it is you get to see the hand if you do call wrong. So this and I think for this tournament it was ruled like that, so it definitely makes sense to play it in this deck. But I played a couple of games with it, so I do want to share with you some of the games that I've had as well as some of my thoughts. First, all I gotta say is ladder is just like there's Amaryllis everywhere, everywhere. I'm just like, what the fuck are you guys doing? I wonder why. But I love the inspiration, so gotta say that. So it looks like our opponent here is playing some, I don't know, plant good stuff. I see a Cactus Bouncer in the main deck, and then we open the one for. Oh, as you see in this repos, we open this card quite a lot, so it's pretty indicative of that there. But he goes Lone Fire, Tit Lone Fire Titania, which is so strong. Um, we love that. And then we draw, we pass, we get Charge of the Light Brigade, we fire charge, we hit Amaryllis. We're able to get Lila straight from the deck. Normal summon out the Lone Fire, tribute for Titanial, and then we're going to attack Titanial over to the Lone Fire. Shocks that he doesn't deep prison here. I have no idea why he does that. Will we pro set the storm, get back the Amaryllis, and pass the turn? I think one of the cool things that I do like is that once you hit one Amaryllis, especially in game one, it kind of like satisfies that need right there. So like you only have one left in deck, you have a low chance of drawing it. So I definitely see the argument there. The problem is post board. Post board when they are boarding in their like DD Crows and they're boarding in their soul releases, like you definitely do want multiple Amaryllises or three Amaryllises at that point. Lone Fire does get taken out. Titanio, the second one does touch down. With the crashes with the first Titanio and then attacks over with the second. Very cool there. And he summons Cactus Bouncer, which is like absolutely fucking crazy. Holy smokes. Like I was like, whoa, I can't special summon anymore. We draw a bottomless trap hole, but we just decided normal summon the Lilo, try to pop the back row. He negates it with Titanial. I don't know if I would have done that per se, but we put bottomless back down past turn. He draws Debris Dragon, Miracle Fertilizer, bring back the Titanial. That's getting bottomless. Fertilizer dies with it, and then we take 1800 from there. Pass draw. I flip the heavy because we need this fertilizer to go through. So we activate fertilizer, gets revives the titanium itself, attacks over the cactus bouncer, passes turn. They draw Raikou. He's debris into Black Rose Dragon, clearing my whole field, getting 2 tokens, passing the turn. We have Dust Shoot, which is an insane draw here. So we set, pass. We know his whole hand. We decided to put the bot line back in because, like, even if he summons Graveros, it does die by its own effect at the end phase. So that's why with this Raikou, we decided to take care of one of the tokens in mill 3. And he dies. So I guess our opponent learned something. Then we draw the other Amaryllis anyway, which fucking sucks ass. But what are you gonna do? Debris Dragon, bring back the Card Trooper mill 3. We decided not to synchro summon because he has Deep Prison back there. It makes no sense to do so. But we're keeping the Card Trooper on the field just so like when it does die, we do accumulate a draw. We are expected to draw another trade in pretty shortly. I mean, we have 2 left in deck, so it's a pretty good sign there. Um, Bouncer does not clear the Amaryllis. It should have cleared the Amaryllis, but what are you going to do? So pass, draw, draw. We trade in right there, which is so good. Flip battle phase attack because there's another plant on the field. So we cannot special summon. And then we set the Dandelion, banish 2, get both Amaryllis back, and that should be the game from there. And it looks like he just kind of quits the match because he doesn't want to play the mirror match. Well, guess what, buddy? All these jabronis are playing that. So the second match we have over here, we're playing its Fish OTK, which is like pretty ass version of Frog Monarch, if I dare say so myself. He activates Gold Sark, goes for the giant Shrunade. 1 for 1 into Substitute. Normal summon the dupe, tribute off, get Swap Frog Sentryborn. He's doing the whole combo line. And our hand, looking at it right now, is kind of like we're a little bricked up right now, but a couple cards could activate our whole hand. So we draw Mirror Force, which is crazy. So we set Mirror, set Raikou, set Bottomless Pass. He just decides to pass on his own. We draw Trade-in, discard, draw 2 cards, flip Raikou target the dupe. Mill 3. We normal summon Debris Dragon afterwards, getting back the Plague Spreader, Synchro into Iron Chain, and then Iron Chain into the Plague and the Stardust Dragon. Stardust Dragon attacks over Dupe Frog, and I believe we set the Phoenix Wing, and then we pass the turn here. Obviously, I don't know that he's on Fish OTK yet until he decides to fucking, you know, go nut all over me. So he true nades everything back over to the hand, discards for Swap Frog, tributes both for Colocath. He discards. He summons all the fucking fishy dudes from the deck, which sucks ass. Synchro summons into Armory Arm. Armory Arm gets attached to the Stardust, and I know where this is going. I know where this is going. Game number 2. So we go first here. We open up the Karma Cut here. Karma Cut is going to be insane in this matchup. So we open double Lone Fire too. So we get our first Titanial, set Karma Cut pass. This deck starts folding when Titanials get touched down onto the board. He Sarks for Giant Trunade. Swap does come down. Pass draw. I should have summoned the Dandelion here to like bait the negates that he could be having. I don't know why I didn't do that, but we go for another Titanium because I wanted to get aggressive. But let's see. We have the Battle Fader there. Pass draws another one. And then from there, he just tries to tribute for Econ. This would have all been stopped if Dandelion was onto the field. We decided to karma cut the Treeborn Frog immediately after that. Um, just so we have the non-targetables up. So that's why we do that standby phase. He burned Econ for to telegraph that he does have the Caius to out the monster in the hand. Someone's sending in Swap Frog attacks passes. We draw Karma Cut for turn. We normal summon Lord Poison attack. Attack over with Titania for 28. And then from there, we're going to set the Karma Cut and pass the turn. We drew the second one, which is crazy. He goes back with Treeborn, gets Trunade back in hand. Discards for Swap Frog effect, sends Substitute to the graveyard. Sack for Caius. Caius starts to banish. We negate with it. Put swap the hand and pass his turn. Not too sure why he did that, but we're able to summon Sangan and attack with everything. We attempt to go for game, but he has the Battle Fader again. We pass. He draws Substitute. The Treeborn Frog does get revived. He summons Substitute. Decides to send out the majority of his deck, which I do not blame. And then we end up doing a pretty cool play over here. He activates Pot of Avarice, and then I ask him for the targets. Reason being, I do have the Karma Cut set, and he does have Swap Frogs and Substitutes onto the field. So I end up deciding to Karma Cut target the Substitute. Probably would have been better for me to target the Swap Frog, um, because he would have not been able to make a Tastor on his following turn. So we end up banishing all the substitutes. It nullifies his Pot of Avarice, and we remove a body. So that Karma Cut was so high value there. But he decides to attack, takes care of the Titania passes. We draw DD Crow, so we decide to like keep the Crow in our hand. We crash the Sangan into the Catastor, getting the Dandelion, and then we're vortexing out from that point forward, getting back 2 tokens. Passing turn, we decide to discard the DD Crow to banish the Treeborn Frog. He draws Fish Teptarch. He sets it and passes. We draw Traden. We attack. We take another 15 passes. We have Oystermeister. Oystermeister takes care of the token. Pass. We draw Lila. We should have not. Well, I wouldn't know it was Fish Depth Charge, but it was that. That's interesting. But he draws the Metabov Shark, which is crazy. So we end up milling 3 at the end phase. I think we're really showing where the weakness does lie. Our chances of hitting Amaryllis are like just significantly lower, which, what are you gonna do? He top decks Burial from the different dimension, which super unfortunate there, but puts all the froggy boys back into the graveyard. Someone's wanted to attack. Um, I believe he summons the shark, discard for Fishborg Blaster, and then from there he decides to make the yugioh Guardian. Yugioh Guardian attacks, and he takes a Lila of his own. He's low on deck, so milling's not going to help him out there. But we draw Raikou. We should have not set this trade in. I don't know why we did that, because he's able to turn Lila to attack and pop it. Yugioh attacks. We activate Raikou, target that. We mill 3. Unfortunate. What are you gonna do? And then we pass, and then we draw. Yes, you guessed it. The second Debris Dragon. Get back the Dandelion. Synchro summon into the Black Rose Dragon. We decide not to nuke here. We bring back double tokens, and then we attack over for 600. Past turn, he's still under the lock of Lila, so he can't switch her to attack mode. But he goes to activate Gold Slark, get the Caius, passes turn. And then from there, we top deck Phoenixian, cluster Amaryllis herself. We decide to banish Titania, put Lila into attack, tribute both tokens, normal summon out the Amaryllis, and attack for lethal. So crazy game overall. I can't believe we pulled that out of our ass. We had everything in the beginning, and he almost inched his way back into the game. But we're too good. We're too good. Then we go over and we draw our hand, and our hand is insane. Our hand is insane. So he sets Treeborn Frog pass. We draw Torrential. We send out all the lone fires from the deck, get the Titania out of deck, and attack the set. We set Torrential, trap Dust Shoot pass. We activate Dust Shoot himself, putting back the big fish. His hand sucks ass. So we have a lot of power in this hand, not gonna lie. We draw Charge, which is crazy. Charge for Lila. We decide not to fire Fertilizer, because what if we have the the home field advantage there of just being able to mill another plant like Titania, and we do. So we get two tokens back. Once the tokens touch the field, I know this game is over. Um, Tree before comes back, passes turn. We draw Karma Cut, attack, attack over for 28 again. So it goes to 24. Mill 3. We got Amaryllis, which is crazy. Banish, get the card back. And then brings back Fish Death, draws Fish Death card, so he's bricking like crazy. He activates Cold Wave, but we're able to game him right here. We attack over with Amaryllis, dealing the 800 directly over to the opponent. Attempt to attack. He battle faders. We top deck for Plague Spreader, and then we synchro summon into Tempest fucking Magician, and we discard our whole hand, and then burn him for game. So good. All right, next game. We're up against Jarko. And guess what, jabronis? It's the Amaryllis mirror match. Again, God, you guys gotta stop playing this fucking deck on ladder. This pisses me off. But when you're fucking great at Yu-Gi-Oh! And people want to copy you, we gotta give credit where credit's due, you know what I mean? We decided to set Raiko, set Dust Shoot. We drew Dust Shoot like a lot again. We saw these two one-ofs, which is crazy. We activate Trap Dust Shoot. We put the Titania back at the deck. We want to brick this guy. Um, and then from there, it's time for a little mirror match. The little means little man. Harry, let me see your cards. Harry, yes. All right. So Mills for Hidden Armory. We hit Dandelion off the top. The guy's a fucking monster with hitting that. I don't think I would have done that because I want to hit Plague Spreader. Because Plague Spreader is what's gonna make this live off mark. Or we top deck something and then mill it off top for Hidden Armory and just mark the monster that we take. So some mispraise right there, but that's okay. We summon the Dandelion and we attack. Pass turn. Draws the Breed Dragon. That's a great draw. And then he's able to synchro summon into the great and powerful Stardust Dragon. And then from there, attacks into Raikou. We already have Titania on this grade, so this Fertilizer is gonna go crazy. Um, and then he just passes turn. We draw Hidden Armory. We get back Titania. Titania clears the Stardust, and then also clears the monster, one of the tokens. So that's pretty fucking good. He draws Wing Blast. That does absolutely goddamn nothing. And now he's stuck with this awkwardness of like he really, really should have fired the other one. I don't know why he didn't, but teach their own, I guess. Set Raikou, set that pass, activate Fertilizer, bring back Lord Poison, battle phase, attack the token. Lone Fire, Lord Poison, attack the Raikou. And then Titania attack directly. I mean, like, there's definitely some moments where I wish this was a Spot Lion. This would have been way bigger. And you just have these moments where, like, yeah, sure, you could like crash and revive a Titania under damage step, but like, how much different is that from like just firing off a bot line, which bot line would have been absolutely bananas here. So he loses Yu-Gi-Oh because that happens, and he decides to go first on his next hand. Look at his opening hand, two Dandelions, Foolish. He opens shit, and we open Foolish Lone Fire, which is crazy, so crazy. We draw the trade in for turn. Our hand is so gas. So we decided to summon the Lone Fire out. Lone Fire to Titania. We decide to attack, but we trade in first. We get Fertilizer again. God, so good. So good. And then we attack and we attack. Pass turn there. He draws Bottomless Trap Hole. He really needed that a turn early. Necro, get the Mark of the Rose. Um, he could have made Cataster. Yeah, he could have played the game. So all right. So for you guys who do not know what I'm referring to, you could activate Foolish, send Plague Spreader to grave, top deck the Dandelion for Plague, activate Hidden Armory, mill that Dandelion, get back the get DDR, and then you have 5 tokens on board to make a Taster. And then after that, you could just like DDR back that same Plague Spreader afterwards. There's like unless you've played this deck long enough, you would not be able to see that. But like that's what you got to do when you're not like when you draw dog shit like this, you know? Yeah. I think we just sequence everything. You had no reason to do that. So it's okay. It's okay. Young Jarko is learning here. Young Jarko's learning. So we tribute for Dandelion. Then we fire the Heavy Storm, which is going to take care of the Bottomless. And then we tribute the Dandelion off for said Titanial. Um, the reason why I did it that way is because if he had a discard trap, I didn't want him to use it onto like a lone fire. I wanted to use it on Dandelion, which is what gives you ultimately more negates. So that's why I did it that way. And then we attack over for lone fire, attack the token. We take 800. Sometimes I forget because I don't play the mirror match all the time. And we attack directly over there for 2,800. So now we're like, his hand is like, shit, it doesn't do anything. But main phase two, we activate the solar release, and then we set our DDR up, and we banish his boys out of the graveyard. He's Dust Shoot, a card that doesn't do anything. Like, we actually do not credit. How you are the chosen one, it seems. Yeah, I am. I am. I am the chosen one. But yeah, even here, if we had Plague, we could have Black Rosed him here. Guys, like, do not underestimate your plague spreader zombies. I know we had fertilizer in hand, but you know, we activate Lone Fire, pull to get Lord Poison out of the deck, and so it started attacking with everything. So that we clear a bunch of tokens too. So he's down to one token, which is Gangsta. Harry Yas. All right, so we set Karma Cut pass. He goes into he heavies and then draws the Lone Fire finally. He needs to clear everything, and he just doesn't have enough, unfortunately. He should have. I mean, there's not much you could do here. You could technically put the lone fire to attack and then crash over the lone fire, um, or to clear a token. But like, definitely needed to get rid of that. But he knows I have lightning vortex in hand. It's Jover. It's Jover. GG's, no rees. Keep at it, brother. All that fun stuff. So back to Jamal's deck. So I will say this. I felt like the deck felt a little like weaker in power, but I felt like that the hands were a bit more playable. I don't know if that's the sacrifice that I think you should have with this deck. There's probably definitely a middle ground that you could have with this deck overall. Strangely enough, even as crazy as this list looks, I do like it a lot. I do like this list a lot. I definitely want to play a little bit more with it because, Jamal, he's a mad lad. Going down to two Amaryllis is my goodness. But congratulations over to him for getting first/second place at the Gamers Choice Tournament. So please like, comment, and subscribe for more Amaryllis, Yu-Gi-Oh, retro related content. And I'll see your beautiful faces later on this week. Peace. Have a great day. Stay safe, y'all.